morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to be talking about one of Reston's founding principles. When Robert E. Simon Jr. started planning Reston, he wrote down 7 founding principles that would guide development. And one of those was that there would be housing for all. And specifically, he stated that he believed that by providing the fullest range of housing styles and prices, residents could remain rooted in the community if they chose through the different stages of life. A byproduct of this would create a lively and varied community. LowIncome Plaza was the first village center created, and it very much demonstrates this founding principle. At LowIncome, you have condos, a high-rise on the plaza, and then as you move down the lake, there are townhouses and single-family homes, and they all have access to the plaza. So as a family grows, or if kids move away, or perhaps your financial situation changes, you can move into different types of housing and still have access to the amenities that you had in your original house. Housing for all meant creating a diverse community. When a great deal of Virginia was still resisting desegregation, Reston began as a community welcoming all. Neighborhoods and schools were not segregated by race. Within walking distance of LowIncome Plaza are also apartments, Crescent Apartments. You can see a brochure here, and also senior housing. The LowIncome Fellowship House was built in the late 1960s. Reston's development would also prioritize low-income housing. Here we have a Washington Post article from 1966, where it discusses that Reston would be receiving $200,000 from the Department of Housing and Urban Development to design 200 prefabricated apartments, townhouses, and garden apartments for low-income families. The article states that this development would, quote, prove 2 notions that have been long and widely discussed by urban planners, but have never effectively been tried. These notions were that 1, that regular housing can be produced by technologically advanced factory methods, and 2, that low-income families could harmoniously live in the same community with middle and high-income families. A variety of housing did not just mean types. It also meant architectural variety, and you can see a few examples of various housing in Reston. From the beginning, multiple architects were employed and created very unique architecturally interesting housing for Reston. While Reston began with a variety of housing types, in 1986, Restonians realized that many in their community were homeless and were living in the woods. They petitioned Fairfax County Board of Supervisors to have a homeless shelter built in their community with the rallying cry of, "Yes, in my backyard." The Embry-Rucker Community Shelter opened up in 1987 by the organization that we now know as Cornerstones. Unfortunately, we were having trouble finding current statistics for housing, but in 2009, in our book, we published how many dwellings there were in Reston. And so in 2009, there were 4,247 single-family detached houses, 8,205 single-family attached houses, which include townhouses and patio homes, 14,323 apartments, for a total of 26,443 total dwelling units. So we're over 10 years later, we're much higher than that, and hopefully we can update this once we find some more accurate data. We hope you enjoyed today's artifact highlight. Please check out our website, restonmuseum.org, to browse the rest of our collection, view our past publications and programs, and much more. Please also consider making a donation at restonmuseum.org/donation to support our mission of preserving and sharing Reston's history. Again, please let us know what you would like to see in the upcoming weeks and join us next Monday for new content.